the NLP technique that drastically changed everything. Hey everyone, I'm Steve from Dr. Bromley's Life Coaching, and I'm going to teach you today the one technique, which is actually the one thing that I do with all my clients. And it came about from myself, 6 years ago. Maybe you could relate to yourself going through the same thing, feeling this feeling of anxiety frequently, kind of feeling like you're on a hamster wheel of life, that no matter how much you do, you're just not getting ahead. Or that feeling that, you just need clarity on what the next step is. Like you wish someone would shine a light or tell you what is the next thing you need to do. This one technique was huge. In fact, I learned it during my training for life coaching. And the modality that I do is neurolinguistic programming, which the basic gist is understanding the wiring of your brain on why you think the way you do, the way you respond. And when you're interacting with people, it'll help you get to see things from their lens of their world, which is huge in what I do with relationship coaching. So while I was learning this, my mentor, I remember him saying this once. He said, we have been taught that in order to have something, you have to be able to do something in order to become something. Where in reality, it's backwards. What we're searching for life is this energy, this feeling. If you're big into manifestation, you will kind of understand this. But when I learned this, it was kind of vague. Didn't really understood it until I actually started applying it and then using it with clients to help them with their needs. And man, the results are just crazy. And this one technique will actually help you discover what that feeling is. So in that context, have to become, in reality, you have to become in order to have, then you can do. I was taught by my parents, coming from South America. They didn't come from this country. And what was taught to us was that in order to succeed, you had to have a college degree. And in order to feel that feeling of success, you have to have a doctor's degree. Where in reality, I ended up going to school, getting a doctor's degree in pharmacy, and it didn't really bring me that sense of happiness and success that I was really searching for. But what I realized is that when you start off with the mindset of being successful, everything else falls into place. And this connection is what I'm realizing with all the clients that I work with, is that what they were taught was actually backwards. And how do you find this? How do you find this energy that you're trying to search for? Well, it's this one NLP technique that I'm telling you about. It's called values elicitation. And what it does is it helps you discover what is very important to you. What are your values that are specific to you? Once you have clarity to this, it's like a roadmap. It's like a blueprint that will guide you to everything else. In other words, any decision you make, you line it up to these values. And if they line up, they're going to give you those feelings that you're searching for. Common ones are peace, accomplishment, fulfillment, and the list goes on and on. So how you do this exercise is you ask 3 questions and you repeat it until you get to a point where you start to have to really think about your answers, or the answers you end up responding will repeat itself. So, for example, let's say I'm a relationship coach. So in the realm of relationships, you would ask a person, or you ask yourself, what do I want? What's important to me for a relationship? What are the important characteristics of it? And why is it important to be in a healthy relationship? And you may tell yourself, well, if I'm in a healthy relationship, it would make me happy. And then you would ask these 3 questions. What's important about that? What will that do for you? And the answers that you respond on the previous 2, if you had those 2 things, what would that do for you? And for this context, if I was in I am happily married, but when I first did this exercise, I thought to myself, well, it'd make me happy. Well, then I'd ask, what is important about being happy? Well, being happy, I feel as though it's very, like it's to my core, like it'll help me be able to do other things in life. What's good about doing that? Well, if I'm able to do good in life, I would feel a sense of accomplishment. And, and you kept on digging deeper and deeper. And I had like a list of like 10 to 20 ones. And then what you do is you compare them to each other. So let's say, you say happy and peace, you would say, well, what's more important, happy or peace? And then whatever that answer is, you keep on going down your list until you end up with one answer. And then you cross that out on the list and you repeat that process until you come up with the top 5 that are very important to you. Once you have this, you will have a clear blueprint, a clear map of what's important to you in that realms. It's the same thing you can do with business, career, personal fulfillment. But a lot of times what I found is that people that has this feeling that they're stuck, that they don't know where they're going, that they are constantly feeling anxious, it's because they don't have clarity of their future, of what it lies ahead or what are the next steps to do. But by you having a deep understanding of what's important to you in the core, your values, this will give you clarity. And in fact, anytime you feel that feeling where something's just not right or you're just not really feeling fulfilled, it's because what you're doing is not aligned to your values. An example of this is I do a lot of life coaching, men's coaching. A lot of my men are professionals, they have businesses, and they fall into this trap where they have everything. They have a job, or not a job. These men are business owners, so they own their own business. They may be very successful in their business, but despite being successful in this industry, they're not having success in their relationships. They're dealing with a lot of mental issues, or they're dealing with their problems with alcohol or other things. And it's because that thing that they're trying to search for by owning their business is not being met. But by giving them clarity of their values, of what's important to them, to the core, what they're wired, it ends up opening everything else in their life. So today's exercise was values elicitation. You ask 3 questions. What's important? What's good about that? And what would that do for you? And you keep on repeating it till you hit the deeper levels. Now, how do you know what are your deeper values that are deep? There's great resources out there. You can type in core values. There'll be a list of like 50, 100, and it kind of gives you an idea what are the deeper values. And you'll hit it because you'll keep on repeating words. So like, let's say, this will bring me peace, and then you keep on going down the list and you say peace again, and then you say peace again. Once you repeat it about 3 times, you start realizing that you're hitting that higher value. So this discovery is huge, and it's words, and this video doesn't really do justice, actually going through it, actually experience it, it's just amazing what ends up being revealed. So today's lesson was the 1 NLP technique that will bring you clarity. Once you know your values, it'll bring clarity in all aspects of your life.